Good evening. I'd just like to tell you about this new channel. It's called Mindful Model Maker. One of the reasons why I've called it Mindful is because I've been doing this for about 60 years, making models of all descriptions, from plastic kits like Airfix kits, Revell kits. I've made model railways. I've even gone as far as 5-inch gauge locos, battery locos that will actually pull you round, tracks involving more engineering than modelling, but combining the two. At the moment I'm doing a lot with the old Hornby free rail system. And one of the first projects that I'm going to film is converting this 2-rail Hornby into a free rail. Basically, the underneath of this has a different pickup system. It picks up off the two wheels, whereas on the Hornby free rail it has what they call spoons in the middle that pick up on the third rail in the centre. So I'm actually going to convert that from a 2-rail back to a 3-rail, and I'll show you how to do it. It's relatively simple, but if you've never done it before, one of the reasons I do things like this is because it's actually cheaper to buy a 2-rail Hornby and convert it up to 3-rail, whereas some of the 3-rail stuff now is quite collectible, quite expensive. So it's cheaper to buy. You can buy locos £20–30, and I know this is old. I mean, some of the stuff I've got is 60–70 years old in the Hornby free rail, but it still runs as good as the day it was built. It's a die cast body on most. Some of the later locos had a plastic body, but most of them are die cast. They hold the track very well. They do make a lot of noise as they go round, but it's just the feel and the sight of it running round. Some of the couplings, you'll find the thing will go round 20 times, and the next time you look at it, half of the wagons are missing because it's left them behind. But I think that's just a part of it, and that appeals to me in a funny kind of way. The other thing I make is boats. I've actually last year made one from just a flat pack of timber as a kit. I followed the instructions, including the hull, which is I used the steam from a kettle to actually bend it round to get the shape. So it wasn't a pre-formed hull that I bought. It was just flat pieces of wood, and I followed the instructions and built a boat which is now fully radio controlled. And at some point I'll film it out on a boating lake that's not too far from me, and you can see it running. The other thing I plan to do this year is to buy, I want to build the free rail Hornby into a layout, but I don't want to build it into a conventional type, just a board with track fixed to it. I want to make a sectional one, because where I'm living at the moment is an apartment. It does actually go with my job. I know at some point I'll need to retire and move, so I don't want anything fixed that is too hard to take down. So I want to build it on sectional boards. These boards are mainly advertised, already made on eBay, and my thing is that I want to buy some and lay the track and see how good it is to use. The other thing is I plan to exhibit some of this running on a small track, an exhibition. So that's what I want to do, and I'll record that so that you can see how good the stuff is or how bad the stuff is. It just depends. I don't know, because I haven't tried it yet, but it all looks good and it looks feasible. So that's another little project that I'm going to embark on. So the reason of just making this little short video tonight is just really to introduce you to the Mindful Model Maker. The mindful bit just relates to the fact that I use it as my escape, and I think a lot of modelers do. We get into what we're doing. It may be half an hour an evening, an hour, or something like that. It's just a time when you can shut off from the rest of the world and just concentrate on something that you really enjoy doing. So that's where the mindful bit comes in. But what you make, or if you've never modelled before, I'll actually show you the kind of tools to get, where to get them from, and roughly how to use them. And I have made loads of things that have ended up in a bin. So most modelers will show you the finished product, but they won't always tell you how many times they've had a go at something before they've actually achieved the finished thing. It's the same with a lot of model engineers. They will show you things. And there was a model engineer that I met once at one of the clubs I belong to. He had a little bucket hanging on the back of the loco, and everyone really remarked on how good this was. And then later on he said, nobody knows how many of them I made before I got that one that looked like that, because he said they all went in the bin apart from this one. So it's just it. As they say, practice makes perfect, but it doesn't matter if you're perfect at it. The thing is to have enjoyment and fun out of making things, and just relax. And if you think it's good, then that's all that matters. It doesn't matter about other people, because yeah, there are some brilliant people out there that can make things a million times better than I can, but I don't worry about that. I just think to myself, if I'm happy with what I've made, then that really is all that matters. Anyway, I'll be making lots more videos, so the best thing to do is subscribe, and then you can see all of the videos as they're released. Thank you very much. Bye now.